Hey everybody, I'm back. It was a rough. It's been a while. Well over a month since I've been on. I wonder if everybody can hear me. Let me load up my phone, see if everybody can hear me. Testing 1, 2. Can you hear me? Oh, my Bluetooth is hooked up. So. There we go. Let me try it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Marty, how you doing? All right. I've got audio back up. Brooke is sneaking by in the back. Brooke, shut that door.
Hold up for me.
It's been a while since I've been on. It's been crazy. So we're finally back after the storm, and feeling good about it. Actually, man, we got the boat. Cleaned up yesterday. Today, me and Bill took it out for just a little trip. We went out into the lake. I didn't expect to catch anything, but we got a few catfish. Well, they're sail cat, saltwater catfish. They stink. There we go. Now I can see in action what's going on. Yeah, it's tough when these storms hit like that, man. It really devastated a lot of people. My family and myself, we were blessed. We didn't lose everything. You know what I'm saying? We were blessed. We were spared. So there's so many people out there that got rocked that our heart could go out to them. My wife took up donations from other churches to help out these other communities that were just devastated. I got a CD in this thing. Let me get this thing. I shouldn't be playing things while I'm on live, but I know it's in there. I forgot. So I did get some footage of cleaning the boat, getting the boat ready. It was full of debris from the storm. We got that all cleaned out, and we took some time. We just got out on the water today. I thought about going live when I got there. Man, hey, these dogs are loud. Man, the boat ran like a champ. I can't believe how quick it started up. I haven't taken the boat out at all this year. This is the first time. It started right up first crank when after I got done cleaning it, I fired it up. All right, I already got a thumbs down. That's great. It's funny. I love the thumbs down. It don't matter. Funny part about it is they take the time to subscribe to your channel just so they know when you're on to give you a thumbs down. So either way, you're helping me out. So give me all the thumbs down you want. I love it. Makes no difference to me. I'm almost there on watch hours. What I got? Like 725 watch hours to go. We'll be able to qualify for monetization. Marty, I don't think it was you. I actually know who it is. He acts like your friend, but he's really a punk behind the scenes. It's okay. All in good fun. I could care less, to be honest with you. Like I said, it don't matter if you get 100 likes or 100 dislikes. it's all the same. It's engagement. So he's engaging with the channel no matter what. So it don't really matter. But we got the, like I was saying, we got the boat out. We got it cleaned up. I need to get my pressure washer fixed. In fact, I should bring that in the house. I had all kinds of mold on my seats. I regret making when I restored that boat. I put a boat fabric on there, but it was more of a soft fabric, and it had a quarter of an inch foam on the outside. It's like sort of like a soft leather. It gets moldy easy. I don't know. The two bow seats on the front of the bow where the compartments are, I'm thinking about just getting rid of the cushions off of that and then framing up and then wrapping and making my own fiberglass mold and making those fiberglass doors. But it's an old boat. I don't know if I want to put that kind of time into it. I mean, it does great. I mean, what is it, 21 footer? And I only got a 152 stroke on it, old 152 two-stroke. I mean, it's tuned right up. Probably only got, I'd say maybe 5 hours, 6 hours. And I'll be lucky if it has 10 hours on that rebuilt motor. Just all brand new piston rings. But we're getting it across the lake today. And I think we got it trimmed out. I didn't have it wide open, but we're cranking at 37.5 miles an hour on the lake. We're moving right along. We got Bill over here. He got out. Been like 15 years since he's been fishing. So me and Bill decided that, we worked our butt off through this storm. So we decided to get out and have some fun. Caught a few catfish, some big sail cats, saltwater catfish. They tell me they're no good. I don't like catfish anyway. So we released them all. Got 4 nice ones. They were about like that, huh, Bill? Yeah. We didn't weigh them. We didn't measure them because we had no intentions on keeping them. I've heard different things. I've had one guy that said he took them, cleaned them and everything, and put them in a bag. And then when they were having friends over for catfish and stuff, he gave them that bag and everybody ate them and no one knew the difference. I don't know. I wouldn't know the difference because I don't eat catfish at all. I just don't like the texture of it. I'm sure you would know, Bill. Bill's a true Southerner. I'm from New York. I just live in the South. Bill's been born and raised down here, so I'm sure he would know it, more than I would. Bill, I got a glass in there where I sit. Will you fill that sucker with tea for me? What's up?
More tea in, right?
Yeah. Yes. But the house, it's standing. I mean, we got some roof is gone here. Roof in there is gone. 7/8 of the roof is tarp. I'm still getting some water above me, actually. This computer needed some parts to get up and running. GoPro 9 was damaged. GoPro 7 was damaged. I worked on the 9 all day 2 days ago, and I was able to get that one up and running some-ish. The drones, nothing happened with the drones. They were with me. I had all 3 drones with me. But you can't take everything, you know what I'm saying? And then we did something that's a little unorthodox. The storm comes in, from the Gulf. It's the south of us. And we went further south because my brother-in-law that used to live here, Hank, I'm sure you guys have seen him a few times on the show, but he had just closed on a house. He just got married, and him and his fiance bought a house on the other side of the river, further south, about 20 miles, 15 miles south. But that house has solar panels and had a backup in-house generator. So we're thinking, well, we know this storm is going to knock out the power. So he didn't have no furniture, nothing. He closed on the house on Friday. We went down there on Saturday, and on Sunday, the storm hit. So we brought all our stuff down there, and the storm hit and it hit hard. We were down in, getting hit before all these people where we normally live are getting hit. And 15 minutes into the generator running, it burned up. So now we have no generator. The neighbors next door to my brother-in-law, they decided to evacuate at the last minute. Well, the fence blew right down and was like disintegrated. So we look over and he's got a brand new generator sitting there. And, he said, you know what I mean? If you need anything, just help yourself, park in my driveway. So we took his generator over, hooked it up, and we went and picked up my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and her 3 small children. So we had all of them. So it was me, my wife, the twins, Bill, my brother-in-law, his fiance, and then my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and their 3 kids, her 3 kids. So there was 12 of us in this little house, and this house is small compared to mine. Footprint, I mean, my house is 3,000, a little over 3,000 square feet, and that house would fit in my living room and bedroom up in the front there. That's how big the house was. So it was a tight fit. We're all, hunkering down. So I got the neighbor's generator out, got our power running, and the storm hit hard, and the water started coming right up. Came to about that far in his house of coming in. We all prayed, and we went back out on the front porch, and it just within 30 minutes the water started recessing, and it looked like the most of it was over. But what it was the ice. So it was that calm before it hit you again. And then we noticed that I went to check the house. Thanks, Frank. Stop back in if you get a chance. I'm going to be on for a little while. I don't know how long. I just wanted to get on. I finally got internet. It took almost a month to get internet back. And I just wanted to stop in to say I appreciate my channel's been growing the whole time. I've been gone for a month, and I've gained almost 100 subscribers, and I can't tell you how many views. I've been averaging 125 views a day every day. You guys have all been great, man. But Frank, go handle your business and get back if you can, brother. So I went up in the attic to check to see if we had water coming in because the wind was howling 5 more miles an hour, and this would have been a Cat 5 hurricane. And it was ripping. So I climbed up in the attic. I see water pouring in. I look, shine the flashlight up. All right, brother, I'll see you soon. I shined the flashlight up, and it just didn't seem. It was crazy because I could see the dark sky out there. So I go outside, and I'm looking up, and a big vent blew off the roof. Now there's a hole big enough for me to climb through. I'm a skinny guy, I could have climbed through that hole. And now the ceiling, brand new ceiling, it wasn't a sheetrock ceiling. It's got all this fancy stuff on it. It's starting to sag. Water's coming in like crazy. So I'm like, I gotta handle this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's scared. It was a stressful time. So I only had one of those little step ladders, like this big. It has like 3 steps to get stuff out of your cupboard. And it was a little low ranch house. So I backed my truck right up to the house, buttered it up against the fence so the fence couldn't blow open anyways, put it in the back of my truck. And I had a bundle of some shingles from an old job in the back of my pickup. So I grabbed those, grabbed some nails, and I threw them on the roof. I was hanging on to them. I got up there, and it was right in between the 2 sets of solar panels. So I could get up there. It's sort of like a valley. I got it all straightened out, got a shingle over the hole. I drew back my hammer like this, and the wind just took the hammer right out of my hand. Do you know how much force there has to be to blow a hammer? It was a 16-ounce hammer, took it right out of my hand. Then I had to go get the hammer. Then by that time, I got back to that side of the roof. I picked my head up over the peak, and the wind was blowing so bad it was like pushing my. So I had to lay down, roll over the peak, and I'm laying down as flat as I can on the roof so it can't blow me off. I got some nails, or shingles on it, and I got back off the roof, and I was like, "Oh, praise God, that's over." And then I noticed, I noticed more damage, but no water was coming in while I was up there. But that was no time to handle damage. I got down, we hunkered down. The storm started to subside. It started getting past us. And then the next morning, when the sun came up, it looked like a war zone in the neighborhood. Trees were down, pieces of people's roofs, whole roofs were blown off, and in other people's yards. I noticed that the neighbor next door that was just evacuated to my brother-in-law, parts of his roof were missing. And I noticed he had some tarps that used to cover other things that were luckily tied down so they didn't blow away. So I backed up to his house, got the tarps, and then tarped his roof for him and stopped any leaks from getting in his house, because we kind of hijacked his generator while he was gone and his fuel. So it was crazy. The next morning, huge structures that hold the power lines. Well, they had some of them that were so high, and they were crossing the Mississippi River. When we're on the south side of the Mississippi River, one of those fell straight into the river and cut power. Everybody in Jefferson Parish, Orleans Parish, there was millions and millions of people without power. I don't think anybody had power. It knocked power out to the whole southern Louisiana. So now there's no power, so there's no gas stations. There's no food, no water. Actually, most parishes, they shut the water off, or the water mains broke. When big trees fell down, they're breaking the mains. So you either had no water because they shut it down to work on it, or there was very little water pressure because it was leaking everywhere. So I talked to my pastor. He decided, he had his house set up. He had 2 big generators, put a little window air conditioner in. And then he just got a bad feeling. He's like, I just walked in the other room. I said, hon, get 3 days of clothes and get in the truck. We're leaving now. And they left just before the storm. So they got out of there just in time. So they went to Texas. Their family, their daughters had a camp. Were camping out there. So there was a cabin available. So him and his wife and dog, he's got like a 235-pound Mastiff. They all went out there. So I was talking to him. He kept calling me, and now cell phone towers are all down. There's no power. It's hard to get reception. Everybody's trying to check on each other. Hey, brother, how you doing? So everybody's trying to check on each other after the storm, and you're scrambling, trying to check on your family and everything, and nobody knows where everybody's at. So the pastor, he keeps calling me. So I finally got through to him. And he's like, how are you? I'm like, we're all safe. Everybody's alive. It's devastation here. He's like, listen, if you can get to my house, take my 2 generators. I got 4 tanks of gas there. There's a little window air conditioner. Take that, bring it to your house. I said, all right, cool. So we took my truck down. I got his generators. And they held like 7.5 gallons each. They're big generators. So I had 2 ice chest freezers. I'm doing good. I'm just getting back, brother, from the hurricane. Hurricane Ida hit Louisiana, and it devastated this area. And I'm just getting internet back. I just got a new router. The computer just got new parts put in it so it can work. Down on a lot of things. I'm not going to say all the things that are broke and all the things that happen. We were blessed. Some places, Becca, how you doing? Some places, their whole houses are gone. The whole communities are gone. So, I'm not going to sit and whine. I was blessed. Let me shut this door. My kids keep leaving doors open. So I got to the pastor's house, got his two big generators, his two gas cans, and took the window unit out of his house. And I said, listen, while you're there, buy as many tarps as you can because there's going to be nothing open for here. Becca, our church never got a scratch, never took one ding. Matter of fact, we just raised $18,000 at our church for a young pastor that we know that was really far south, right in the eye of the storm. And him and his wife and children lived in the church and didn't have no insurance on the building because it was $18,000 a year. And they didn't even bring $18,000 a year in, and the church was leveled. So my wife and the youth from our youth group, all the kids that come and hang out here, you guys know about all the teenagers I had, they got on the phone and they called, every one of them picked a state, and then they went to church.org or something. They called every church and sent them to our church's website. And we raised between our church and what the youth got rallied up. We raised $18,000 to help this pastor rebuild his church. All right, so back to the story. I got his generators, got his stuff, got it back to the house. I told him, buy every tarp you can, nails, felt, whatever you can, because nothing's going to be open here for a while. So about 4 hours later, I finally get back on the phone, and he says, all right, I got all that stuff. I got a ton of tarps. I can't even tell you how many I got. I just bought everything they had. He said, but how am I going to get them to you? So I might have to drive to Texas and get them, bro. He said, well, they got, curfews and roads are shut down. The I-10, which is the interstate that goes between all the way through Louisiana, all the way through Texas, halfway through, it was flooded. But I know a way to get around it. So I said, I'm just coming to you. He said, okay, listen, we left in such a hurry. He's got a big mastiff and the dog's on all kinds of medication. So he said, there's a basket on top of my microwave cart. It's got all the dog's medication in it. Bring it to me. I said, all right. He said, matter of fact, my F-150, did you see it in the driveway? How did it make out? I said, yeah, it didn't look like it had a scratch on it. He goes, well, that's got a full tank of fuel in it. Jump in my truck and bring me the dog's medicine. I said, all right. So we jumped in the truck and we filled the whole back of it. I think we took like 15 5-gallon pails because there's no gas stations open. And we had 15 5-gallon gas cans with us. We strapped all those down and all the dirty laundry we had because now it's been 2 days, going on the third day. We filled all the generators up. Me and Bill and my wife, we traveled to Texas. We filled up the truck. We did the laundry. We got all the tarps, everything from Rusty, filled up the gas cans, and we headed back.
Funk.
Yeah, Frankie. He was in for a minute. So we headed back, and you think with all that fuel we had, how many gallons was that first trip? 15 5-gallon pails, 75 gallons. Didn't last us long. So Rusty's like, well, you got to empty out my freezer and my refrigerator at my house because the food's going to spoil and it's going to stink. The fridge is going to be no good. Well, as we're getting ready to go to his house when we got back, because we traveled through the night, we got back like 5 o'clock in the morning, just before the generators ran out of gas. We filled up the gas, and then me and Bill went to sleep for about 3 hours. We jumped back up, and we're getting ready to go empty out his freezers and refrigerators. And
You're not funny.
Brooks, Bill scared Brooke. It was awesome. All right. Anyways, so we're leaving, and the people across the street is a lady and her daughter. Were asking us if we knew any place open to get food. They just put their house up on the market, and they emptied out the refrigerator and freezer because they were trying to sell it. And then the next day, the hurricane hit. So we went to Rusty's, and we were emptying out his freezer and everything that was still frozen. We just put in a box and then brought all that food to them people across the street. And then we were getting low on gas. Then not that day, the next day, we were going to get ready to do another gas run. So there was a very few gas stations that were open that were running on generators. They were cash only. And there was lines for miles getting to them. So it was taking you 4 to 5 hours to get to the gas station. And then when you did get to the gas station, you were lucky if they didn't run out before you got to the pump because they were going through. Yeah, the cops would shut them down if they were blocking the roads for the emergency vehicles getting through. So we were getting ready to go on another gas run, and we talked to the guy across the street. He waited in line 4 hours, and then just before he got to the pump, the cops made him leave. So we took his 4 cans, and it ended up only being 3 because one had a hole in it. And then the next door neighbor came home. We gave him his generator back. So we had 2 big generators. We were running 2 chest freezers, a refrigerator, 3 air conditioners, and then lights and everything else. I mean, we didn't rough it like a lot of people were. You know what I'm saying? They were shutting their generators down and during the day, and then at night running them to keep the food cold and do the air conditioning. So we're getting ready to go on another gas run. So we took a bunch of neighbors' cans with us, and we went on another gas run. So we found out we would leave in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we would travel 2 hours, 2.5 hour drive past Baton Rouge and way out almost to Texas. And then we'd get a gas station was open, we'd fill up, and then we'd work our way back. We'd get back, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we would be good for 2 days. This went on for a while. So then we see on the map that they're saying that our neighborhood has power. So we're going home. We checked on the house, minimal damage, and we're gonna go home. So we pack everything up, 4 or 5 vehicles, and because now I still got Rusty's truck, I got my truck, my van, my daughter's car. So we packed everything up. When we pull up to the house with the first load because they didn't have no furniture. Remember, we brought everything from our house to their house that was empty because they just bought it. We get home and there's no power. On the map from Entergy, it's showing that there's power. Luckily, we have an Entergy worker that works across the street, or he lives across the street from us, and he's high up in Entergy. The next day, or later on that day, power came up to most of our neighborhood except for our, of course, our block. So when he got home that night, and he was working 20 hours, 22-hour days, they had brought in 30,000, 35,000 people to help. And he said, you'll definitely be up tomorrow. So we had the generators run, I think, for a day and a half here at this house. We made 2 runs back to the other house. Then my brother-in-law and his fiance went to Alexandria, and that's where her grandmother lived. And then they ended up just up in the wedding and got married out there while they were out there. And my mother-in-law's power got turned back on the day after our power, so she went home. And then it was just clean up. We had a shed in the back. I showed you guys in one of the videos. We had a shed in the back, and it was all balled up. I'm like, man, the shed didn't make it. And then I walked around the corner. I'm like, wait, my shed is around the corners of the house, and the neighbor shed came over the fence and landed right where my shed was. And it was like really weird. So we ended up with 2 sheds. Neither one of them could be used, but oh yeah, Bill got back to work. You weren't out long, huh? About a week, 2 weeks, week and a half. That's not bad.
Our business been moving too.
Yeah, well, he's in the glass business, so his company's really been going over the top on hours and everything because a lot of windows are broke and everything. They make all commercial glass, residential glass. So that was our little experience. Hey, there's ice cream still? I'm thinking about getting an ice cream maker, but I'm not alive. Get out of here. Thanks, Marty. I got a couple of videos already shot. One to cleaning the boat, getting the boat ready after the storm. And then we went out and just ran the boat in the lake a little bit today. Never been in the lake. Looking at Lake Pontchartrain in Louisiana, you'll see how big this lake is. We took the boat out and man, it ran like a dream. We just needed to get out for a little bit. We didn't catch much. Really, we weren't trying. We were just having fun. Hey, this thing said my wife sent me a message 1 day ago. Probably in trouble. And that, not answering that. But thanks for stopping in, Marty. You guys, like I said, you guys have been great. The channel's been growing like crazy, and I haven't even been here. So, I mean, you guys have been awesome. You're keeping the channel going for me. It's like unbelievable. The amount of support you guys have given me. It's unbelievable. I truly am amazed how good the channel's been doing with you guys. You guys have been watching videos. Like I said, I gained over 100 subscribers since I've been gone. I'm a little over 700 watch hours ago before I get monetized. You guys have been like super awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Plus, I mean, not to mention on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube, everybody, reaching out to me and, giving me support when all this was going down. I mean, that means a lot. So many people said, if you need anything, just give me a shout. And I mean, that means a lot. I would never ask anybody for anything. If you ever wanted to give me some, I'm donating it to somebody else. I'm not keeping it for myself. Like I said, me and my family, we were blessed. We lost very minimal. I can't complain. I'm not going to complain. I mean, so many people don't have a roof. I mean, I lost a hard drive, power supply, couple modems, tackle, fishing stuff. I mean, it's all material stuff. It don't matter. When you're in the situation, Big Mike, how you doing, brother? When you're in those situations where the storm is hitting like that. I mean, one of the kids from the youth group lives right around the corner from me. Yeah, I'm going to be sending some video rapping videos out. Those videos do like phenomenal. My fishing videos get hardly any views. My drone videos, they get a flop. My rod wrapping videos do great. Thanks for stopping in, Mike, though. I really appreciate it. We're getting close on the watch hours. Dynasty Rods, man. If you guys aren't subscribed to this guy, you guys think I do nice rod wraps? This dude does it, and he does it with like no equipment. I have all this fancy equipment. This guy, man, he makes like his own jig out of wood, and this guy is phenomenal. I've learned a lot from him, to be totally honest. What, man?
Do you know there's a Bass Pro Shop?
Yeah, the Bass Pro Shop is out by Baton Rouge.
That's what I said. Do you want to go to the Bass Pro Shop?
Yeah, I'd love to go to a Bass Pro Shop. Are you talking to?
This one of the yachts they were told to where they're from. So.
Yeah, I need to get a new hub for my boat.
Cool.
All right.
Bass Pro Shop.
All right, cool. But I'm going to be getting some rod wrapping. I had a few requests while I was down because I was only using cell phone. And to be honest with you, when I was at that house that we were staying at, I had no service. I would have to get in the car and drive for like 2 hours before I got, well, not 2 hours, about 20 miles before I got service again. And then I would get my text and be able to look at YouTube and stuff like that. But while I was down, I heard a few people ask me how to close off a rod wrap. Requested a few rod wrapping videos. So, of course, I'm going to, oblige those guys. I mean, they're subscribers. I'm going to do whatever you guys want. If that's what you guys want, that's what you're going to get. The rod wrapping videos do great. Not as good as Dynasty Rod Customs over here. This guy is a legend as far as I'm concerned. I learned all of my original rod wraps, I learned from watching him. And now I feel blessed because he watches my videos and picks up certain things from me. So it's a blessing that he watches me. I mean, he's been in the game for a long time. He's had his channel a long time. He's made tons of videos. And I feel honored that he subscribes to me and can learn something from me. I'm always trying to come up with a new rod wrap. He's getting ready to go into rod weaving, where you're weaving into the wrap. I haven't decided on if I was going to do that yet or not. But I have some, I'm going to send him some emails because I do have a bunch of literature, how to make a swordfish and stuff like that, weaving the thread. The Reef Robber. What's up, brother? I was watching you last night for a little while, but I was on my junky laptop in the garage, and the Wi-Fi signal way out there, it comes in and out, in and out. You guys spent more time buffering with that stupid circle in your face than being able to listen to what's going on. Got this computer up and running today with all the water and whatnot. It shorted out. The power supply was bad and one hard drive was bad. But I got this back up and running. Monitors seem to be okay. This one's a little funny. I added a third one over here too. That's just got my stocks on it. Got my stocks over here. You can't even see it. But anyways, I'm back up and running. Went out on the boat today, got some relaxation, and caught a few catfish. Not like you guys want, though. You guys want them freshwater cats. We caught a couple nasty. I caught two, and Bill caught two. We've been working our butts off since the hurricane, trying to get the house back in order, and then all the elderly people at church tarping their roofs, helping them out. So we've been running like hectic. Yeah, I left it running. I couldn't get on, so I just shut the sound off and left the laptop running. Reef Robber. I was listening when I could, but it just kept buffering, so I just turned the sound up and left it going in the background. And I was watching a movie on Hulu on my phone, but we finally got internet up and running. I had to get a new modem, as you can see over here. I called them, I want to say on the 1st. I said, listen, my modem got shorted out when the generator kept kicking on and off, and it shorted the modem out. It's okay, you'll have a new one, but by the 7th or 8th. I finally got it. I think it was the, 23rd. Yeah. Oh, where did you go for salmon? Tell me where you went for salmon. I used to salmon fish all the time. Oh, in the ocean. Write this down, Reef Robber. There's this little town in upstate New York. It's called Pulaski, New York. The only thing that place is good for is during salmon season. The salmon and the brown trout run up this river, and then they get to the falls and they jump the falls just like you see on TV, and they go upriver to spawn and then they die. This little town survives on that. It's called Salmon River. It's the Salmon River. It runs through Pulaski, New York. You go there during the run when salmon are spawning. I mean, you'll catch monster salmon. I used to do it every year when I was in New York. The salmon are phenomenal. I mean, you're talking 32-inch salmon, 30-inch, 32-inch brown trout. I mean, it's just like phenomenal. And it's all like fresh water. Oh, they're delicious. But that's all that little town is known for. It's right on Salmon River, and it's close to the dam where they get to the point where they got to jump up, and then they spawn right up there, and then they die. But during the run, the salmon run, people are shoulder to shoulder. When I was a kid, they used to let us use a treble hook that had a sinker in the center of it. A big sinker. It was like a big sinker with 3 trebles coming out of it, and we used to just snag them. Now you're not allowed to do that. You have to use a lure, and you have to hook them in the mouth. But I'll tell you what, you want to get into some nice salmon fishing, brother, and I guarantee you come home with a limit every time. It's unbelievable. Pulaski, New York. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, thanks. I'm gonna get more rod wrapping videos out. I just shot 2 videos. One of me cleaning the hurricane out of my boat. Listen, this hurricane was so bad. I was worried. I parked my boat next to my house, and it's in it's called an easement. There's a transformer behind my house, so if the power company needed to get to that, my boat would have been in the way. So I wanted to put my boat in the front yard so I had access to it in case I wasn't home, with the storm and everything. So I parked my boat in the front yard, and during Katrina, this house took about 8 feet of water. So now I'm thinking, I got my boat in the front yard. It flooded 8 feet during Katrina. If it's hooked to the trailer, it's just the trailer's gonna weight it down. It's gonna sink. So I'm thinking, okay. So what I did was I threw the anchor out, left 50 foot of rope, tied it off to the boat, unstrapped it from the trailer so it could float, and put the plug in it, and then activated the battery so that the automatic village pump would kick in and pump the water out of it. So at least it might be on the house, it might be in the yard, it might be in the road, but at least it's going to be right there. And to my amazement, it was still sitting on the trailer right there when I came back. But yeah, that was a rough one. They said 5 more miles an hour, and that would have been a Cat 5. That was a rough one. There's still devastation everywhere. We drive down the road, there's still roads that you can't get down. Trees are finally starting to get killed. I should shoot a video of me just driving around. Garbage and like sheetrock and insulation and rugs and everything piled up higher than houses all the way down our road. So much damage. Like I said, I mean, I'm not complaining. We took damage, but in front of my house ain't like that. Granted, I don't wait for the garbage man. I threw the stuff in the pickup truck and took it to the dump myself. But we got some, sheetrock, some water, some looters, the normal. What are you gonna do, man? Just thank God that everybody's okay. Church family, everybody made it. We have a few brothers that are just totally displaced because their houses were totally wrecked, but it is what it is. But I am glad to be back. I'm going to get on some rod wrapping videos. I think one of the first ones I'm going to do is how to tie off a rod wrap. After you make a nice wrap, how do you tie it off? I had a few people ask that. Now, I don't do detailed on how I lay the rod wraps out because it all depends on the diameter of the rod, first of all. And then it depends on what size thread you're using. And most of mine, to be honest with you guys, I use size D thread because it's bigger. There's like 3 A's to 1 D. So I'm trying to cover a lot of area. When I do my rod wraps, they're always from the foregrip all the way up to the first guide. I wrapped that whole section. So I'm covering a lot of area, and size 8 thread just ain't cutting it for me. My eyes, it's just too much. You know what I mean? So I don't know who that is. CAM. We got FEMA's here. Red Cross. I mean, oh, I think my wife and the youth group said I think next week they're meeting them at one of the local church and they're going to do something. Yeah, I think they are here. Like I said, the youth group, when this all happened, they got on the phones. We went to the church because the church got power and internet before our neighborhood did. And I'm head of security there, so I have keys and everything. So we took all the youth to there, and they got on the phone and called. Each one of them grabbed a different state. We're calling churches and telling them about the devastation and that we're trying to raise money. You could send supplies, canned goods. You know what I mean? Just the things that people need. And they called over 500 churches in 2 days, and those kids raised $18,000. To help rebuild a church in, we sent 10,000 down to that church that was devastated, and then 5,000 to another one. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we're getting the youth want to jump in and help with those guys too. I've been concentrating on the elderly. We have a big. Our congregation is small, and I'd say 75% of them are in their 70s and older. So I've been concentrating on keeping those guys up and running, getting over there, drying their houses, and you know what I mean, helping them get the insurance stuff taken care of, and just keeping them. We like today. We cook. My wife used to cooking for an army. Matter of fact, tomorrow is her birthday. But she's used to cooking for an army, and there was only 5 of us here today. So we called a few people at church, and we dropped off meals to them. It's about helping each other out. And like I said, I mean, we took some minor damage. Anything. If you got a home, still over your head, it's minor damage compared to some of these places. I know so many brothers and sisters in the Lord that don't even have a home anymore. A lot of people evacuated for the storm, praise God, and they're not coming back. They're not going to rebuild again after this one. This storm was more devastating than Katrina, dollar amount wise, because it hit here in Louisiana and then decided to go all the way up the East Coast. It went for states. It just kept going. I mean, it wasn't as bad. There's some states that don't get 3-4 inches of rain a year, got 7 inches in 2 hours. Flooded some of the driest states out there. It was a mess. And then we had a tropical depression a week later. We're still trying to get the water to go down. The levees held, but the thing is, when the Army Corps of Engineers built those levees to protect New Orleans after Katrina, it does its job. It protects New Orleans. But all these small communities on the outside of New Orleans don't. That never flooded in their lives get devastated now. Like this little place called Laplace, they had 12, 14 feet of water. Yeah, I'm sure, brother. That's awesome that you help out like that. We still got just wrecked buildings from Katrina that they just never built. They never finished tearing down. They just left it. I live on the outside of, I mean, it's like 12 minutes, 14 minutes to New Orleans from my house. But I'm right on the end of Lake Pontchartrain. And I'm the last neighborhood. There's swamp after me. Let me see. I can see it on the map here. It feels good to be on a computer again. Trying to do everything on my stupid phone. Yeah, let me see. I don't even know how to do this anymore. There we go. Share screen. There we go. Oh, I got 3 screens. I forgot. There we go. Yeah, I live in this neighborhood right here. I live in this neighborhood right here. See, this is all swamp here, and to the north is the lake. And I'll just keep zooming out. Yeah, I'm right here. This is all swamp on this side of me. This lake right here, this bridge that goes across this lake right here, it's 24 or 25 miles long. I've never really fished that lake. I'm not much of a lake fisherman. I normally fish over here in the by the Gulf in Mexico. I launch over here at Shell Beach, and then we fish down these canals. Lake Eloy is where those oyster reefs that you always see me fishing at. Here's Dead Man's Island. So as you can tell, that's right in the Gulf. But it takes about an hour, 10 minutes to get to Shell Beach where I launch. And then it's another 35, 40-minute boat ride. And then you're straight in the Gulf if you want. But today I launched over here in Kenner, this little boat launch right here. And then I shot all the way down here. I fished up the causeway a little bit. And then I went over here to Lakefront Airport. And then we fished all right here. But the main thing was we just wanted to get out of the house. We just wanted to get out of it. So I'm the last bit of civilization. See, I live right here. I got swamp on this side of me, lake on this side of me. So, I mean, the New Orleans, New Orleans International Airport is literally like 2 miles from my house. It's right on the other side of the interstate. I don't know why it's called New Orleans Airport when New Orleans is really way over here. This is New Orleans over here. And then there's Metairie, and then there's Kenner, and then the airport's in Kenner actually. But when we left for the storm, see, I live here. We went and we stayed here in Avondale. So, as you can tell, we were way further south. And then this is where it kind of hit all up through here. It hit like this right here. So, and it's just, once it hit Landed Park. But these guys down here are cut off, and all these guys, like Golden Meadows, Grand Isle. I don't even think Grand Isle is still there, to be honest with you. Port Fortune, those guys, this all got like leveled. There's 12-foot storm surge. Yeah, I bet, brother. We had a rogue wave today in the lake. It was just like so weird. The lake was like glass, and then we look over for about 30 feet. There was like a 3-foot wave, and it was just, so we went around it, and we look back, and it's just still there. It's not going forward. It's not rolling towards shore. It's just sitting there. It was the weirdest thing. I hope it shows up on my camera. I did have the camera going. I've never seen nothing like that. Yeah, so that's what we did today. We just went out here, launched at this boat launch right here. Little boat launch by the house. We've never fished a lake. She's literally right down the road from my house. I live down in here. And it's just a mile down the road. But that's what we did. Figured we'd get out of the house for a little while. One nice. I relaxed all day today. Fished, came home. Me and Bill didn't help the wife though before we left. We didn't want to leave her because we'd mopped all the floors. We got 3,200 square feet of house. So Bill vacuumed and I steamed. We have no rugs, so it's all tile. So we have a steamer. Wow, those are some big waves. I got sprayed a little bit. What size boat you got? I just got a little 21 footer. Center console. It's a 86 ProMaster. I think I only made that boat for a few years. Wow, you got a 20-foot, 3-inch. When you're taking waves that big, man, you're a brave dude. I don't take mine out in waves like that, bro. This lake is so big. It was really choppy when we left. You'll see in the video when I finally get a chance to edit it. But on the way back, it was like glass. You never see this lake perfectly flat. Like I said, 25 miles just crossed from north to south. And I think it's over 30 miles from east to west. In the north, the wind was coming out of the northeast at about 7 to 8 at the time we left off. But that was the biggest time because I watched the wind and then look at the arc. And about 1 o'clock was the roughest. Jeepers. Where are you, Reef Robber? What state is that? It has to be a perfect calm day before me to take my boat out past that jetty, out into the Gulf. You know what I'm saying? I don't go out that way. Like I hit Lake Eli, but see this. Yeah, that's what happened to me when I went out to Dead Man's Island one time. And that's how I normally do it. I check on the way to Dead Man's. Like I said, I launch right here and I'll shoot down this canal. See that you can't even go straight right here because they put a stupid dam right here. So you used to be able to go all the way down this canal, but you can't. So you got to weave through these canals that go through like this to get out over here to Lake Eloy. And then once you round this right here, it's like open ocean, and you can tell right away if it's Newport, Oregon. And right here, I mean, it's just, but they got this break wall right here. After that break wall, it's straight up ocean. My drone, one of my drones is right here. It sank right about here. I'll zoom out so you can see where that thing is. She's in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, I try to keep, it has to be a dead calm day for me to get my boat out in the Gulf. Now I do travel, like I said, Lake Eli. This is Lake Eli. This is Dead Man's Island. It don't look like that no more. I was just out there about 4 months ago. This island's almost all the way gone now. Yeah, I got that video up there where I sank that drone. But I rebuilt it since then. Well, built a new one. You know, I built that did that video on building a drone out of spare parts that I had laying around. Built a nice drone, put it up for a raffle. Didn't get one person to buy a ticket, so I'm like, the hell with it. I'll just keep that coming to you. I mean, $2,000 worth of drone and you was out about 10, 11 miles, 240 feet of water. Yeah, there's out here, we got a lot of oil rigs. Everybody does good, gets red snapper and all that stuff out there by the oil rigs. I normally don't fish that deep, and I don't know if I would do it in a 20-foot boat, brother. You got a lot of heart. I don't know if I would do that. I fish. I ain't gonna lie. I got a stick anchor. Everybody's got power poles. My ideal fishing, I like 5 to 11 feet. Man, I'm after the speckled trout, the red drum, and I try to keep it in that. That's where they like it. You know what I'm saying? And do you have a backup motor? What are you gonna do when you're 10 to 11 miles out? Do you have CTO? A CTO membership? I have CTO. It's like AAA for your boat, you know? The phone keeps trying to get me to play this stupid. Are you running dogs, Bill? I want some more tea. Can you run me some more tea? Bill, I didn't even throw you overboard today. You couldn't throw me overboard. You were having enough trouble staying in the boat yourself. Well, you were all right during the rest of the day once you got your sea legs.
Yeah. The first time we thought, I was like, oh, no.
Oh, see, that's just the opposite, brother. We have to go that far to find cool enough water. In the summer here, in these marshes, the water temperature gets 92, 94 degrees. Today we were in the lake today. Bill, what was the temperature in the lake?
Yeah.
What was the temperature in the lake today?
78.
It was 78 in the deep spot, but those shallow spots, I think it was still like 83.
Yeah.
Huh? I think there's a dog outside.
How could it be a dog?
I seen somebody walk that way. I don't know, man. Who's running dogs?
God just came through with one.
See you take her outside?
I don't think so.
Ah, man. You better find out before there's a dog fight. Yeah. Oh, all right. Oh, you got two motors on a 20-foot boat? 50 degrees. Jeez, that's chill. Yeah. The fall and winter that's what the best part about here is we never have to winterize our boats and we never take our boats out of the water. Well, I take mine out, but up at camp, we got them all. They stay in the water or in the sling above the water the whole time. We fish all year round. And fall and winter is the best fishing because we use way less gas. We don't have to go out to the Gulf. There's fish come in because the water's cooler now, so they can come in and get all into the marsh and oh yeah. I don't even have a trolling motor on mine yet. I'm gonna get one with spot lock, I think. I just got a 150, an 88 150 Johnson 2-stroke. I'm gonna get with a spot lock though. The darn spot lock will be more than my.
You bad one?
No, there's nobody. Frankie was on for a minute, but he was getting ready to put little Frankie to bed. Reef Robber. I was on his listening to his live feed last night. Those guys were killing me. Yeah. Like I said, the water gets it's so shallow here, and the sun and the ultraviolet light here in the south just like heats the water up where I've seen the water well over 95 degrees. So you have to travel far out towards the ocean to get cool enough water to really fish because the fish don't want to come in and bake. So in the fall and the winter months, they come right into where we jump in our boat. We can drive 5 minutes and be in a school of trout. And the trout here are always schooled up too. If you get one trout, everybody on the boat, wherever that cork or lure was when that fish was hooked, everybody throws there, and you just keep pulling them
Unless you mean you just throw your whole cord off.
in. Billy, you were just breaking off the cobwebs off your fishing. I'm sure we've got some of that on film. I was going to get you. I should have brought another chest mount for you, so we could have had a Bill's eye view. Yeah, I just wanted.
See, that's right. I caught two cats, and one cork.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did catch a cork. Those corks are those popping corks are so expensive, especially the Four Horsemen. That Bill hooked one part of the boat, and then when he cast, the whole cork and everything else went flying and went under the Causeway Bridge. I'm like, pull anchor, we're going to get that. So I drove by and made him net it as we went by. Man, it's like 7 nights. I thought so. Listen, I had one that I hooked last time I went out with Trey, and all of a sudden it went down, and then I reeled it in. I had just line, and all of a sudden he came back up, down over there, and then we moved the boat over there. He went down again. We chased that cork for about a half hour, and then we finally hooked the cork and brought the fish in. But we were after that cork, man. But I just wanted to get on and say I do have videos coming. Everybody loves the rod wrapping videos, so we're going to continue those. Actually, we're going to hit those hard. Nobody ever watches the fishing videos. I mean, a couple of my subscribers do. But I have to say, since I started doing rod building and rod wrapping, I've got the drones, I've got fishing, and then I got rod wrapping. Rod wrapping does 99% of my YouTube channel. The fishing, you get a few people on there, but they don't draw no new people. The rod wrapping draws in more people. YouTube promotes it more. I guess a lot more people are getting into rod wrapping. But my channel was, averaging like this, and it just started to slowly go down on views just in the last few days. So I was lucky. I was able to get internet back. Computers are back up and running. Cameras are working again somewhat. I got the GoPro 9 working. The 7 don't work no more, but I never really liked that sucker anyway. But I want to thank everybody for all your support. You guys have been great. You've built this channel. You guys have just ran this channel for the last month and a half without me, and it continued to grow. It continued to gain subscribers. It gained over 100 subscribers, and I wasn't even here. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate each and every one of you. But I'm going to end this live stream. I just wanted to get on, let you guys know I'm back. Videos are starting to come back out, and we're going to hit it hard. Thank you guys so much for all your support.